You okay?
Yeah. Just need a minute, you know.
Come to see your mother Rosina, is it? Alright, you alright?
It's hard to see her like this, living this state. It looks like she's not my mother anymore.
Yeah, I know.
See my mother now. She looks like a black lady. A nightie is hanging off her. A nightgown, crocheting on the floor. She used to be so beautiful. Why isn't she dressed and her hair brushed? Why is she living like that?
I'm new to this care home, so I'm not really sure how everything runs around here. But what I do know is if the residents are tired, sometimes we let them stay in their bed. And we are very short staffed, so we can't see everybody on time, you know.
She is in that room all the time. She doesn't know where she is or what's happening or where the toilet is. And why is she in her room all the time? She needs company.
To be honest, I'm new around here and I'm not sure how everything goes. But apparently your mum does leave her room and go on walkabouts into other people's rooms.
You must understand, my mother is a social person. She used to seeing people, being with family. Is anything wrong with that?
What we do is we try to bring everyone together in a communal room, and we also bring your mother there. That way she's not alone, but according to the staff, she's pinching things from the other residents.
She's confused. She doesn't know where everything is. It's different in here than in her own home. And why a food is always in the room? Did you know? Yesterday, she put a cup of tea on her dinner. If I hadn't been here, she would have eaten it. Do you know? In our family, food and mealtime is a big thing. We used to sit around the table and enjoy our meal, and as a family, talk together. It's very important to us. She never used to be alone eating on her room.
You know, it's a bit difficult bringing everyone together at the same time for meal times, especially when we're, short-staffed.
The other problem is, when she needs the toilet, she has to go properly. If she doesn't know where the toilet is, she might have an accident. You are making the use of pads. She doesn't need it. Why don't you help her to go to the toilet?
She's not telling us when she needs to go. She's not communicating. That's the problem. She's not speaking English.
You must understand, my mother's first language is Italian. And she might revert a native language, a mother tongue. It's very common for people who suffer from dementia. You should know working here.
I do, but it's difficult because a lot of people throw in different languages at us. Look, this job, you got people, I've only been here for a couple of shifts. Some people don't come back after they do a couple of shifts. We've got a lot of things that we're dealing with, emotionally, mentally, physically. The list of jobs that we got to do are endless.
I never wanted to put her in here. She had carers come in 3 times a day. But she was wandering, and the police used to bring her back. I didn't have any choice. Before she came in here, she would have wandered out in the road. That was the last straw. She was getting very aggressive too.
You did the right thing by bringing her here.
You don't know how it feels. You work in here, it's different when it's your family, your mother.
I do know what it feels like. My grandfather had dementia and it was difficult for all of us.
I'm sorry.
In my culture, people above 70, they don't even really know what dementia is. They're not familiar with it because they don't know what dementia is back home. They see it as a illness that elderly people get. They call it wali.
Wali, what does it mean?
So wali means crazy or like a serious mental illness.
What culture's that?
Somalilander. See, when my grandfather got sick, my family was really, really embarrassed. So they would try and keep him at home, but he would also wander too. And when we kept him at home, he'd get really, really aggressive sometimes.
It's horrible to see someone you love behaving like that. What happened with your granddad?
Eventually, the doctors diagnosed him. My mother would never let him go to a hospital on his own. She saw it as her duty to look after him. Plus, none of the family wanted him to go into a home as well. And my mother, she was helping my brothers, my sisters, and she just wouldn't accept help from anywhere. But to see my grandfather that way, yeah, it was really devastating. To see him like that, it was horrible. He didn't speak very good English, so if the nurses or carers did come around, it was hard for them too, And my mother done it best, but she couldn't speak the best of English either. And all they wanted to do was convince her to put him into a care home, but she refused.
That sounds awful. I'm sorry. What was he like, your granddad?
My granddad was a big, strong man, He come here in the 60s. He was a seaman. He was independent. He used to work. He used to do everything for us. He used to go to the mosque on his own. But when my grandmother died, that's when he started to decline. He started to forget things, started to wander off, get lost.
As you know, my mother's Italian, and she came in the UK after the end of the World War II. Her hometown has been bombed, and there was nothing left. After such a hard life, hand like this, it's not fair.
When my granddad was, getting worse, what I decided to do was learn more about dementia. I wanted to learn more like how people communicate, how to try to understand them. I even wrote a poem actually to try to make myself understand what it would be like to, live in the past. I think that's one of the main reasons why I do this job now.
That's very nice of you. Would you like to share the poem with me?
Yeah, of course. Imagine you got 2 large bookshelves in your mind. One is a calculator of time, the other is a build-up of emotions that you have inside. Dementia is progressive, so you won't instantly realize my capabilities' demise. You might assume it's my age. It's not. You think it takes away my ability to communicate? It does not. You might think I'll lose my independence. I will not. Dementia is a disease caused by the brain. Nothing to do with my age. My motor skills will slowly fade, as will my sequences and inhibitions. I might make mistakes in the kitchen. It could come down to my perceptions and vision. It's 2020, but it could be 1940. I might put the kettle on the stove. Just be patient. Know that I'm changing, but I'll always remain.
Mr. Thompson, room 4, he needs changing.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there now.
Is everything okay in here?
Yeah, this is Rosina's daughter. She's just a bit upset about her mother.
Okay, do you need to speak to anyone, the manager?
No, thank you. This young man has been very understanding. However, please remember, my mother has been difficult only because she has dementia. She needs carers who can help and support her through this.
Okay. Well, you needed. We're short-staffed today, remember?
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing and for talking to me.
It's okay, you know. I wish I had more time with you, but hopefully I could help.
Ciao mamma, come stai? Mi sei mancata tantissimo.
The strong woman we know has been diagnosed, but this disease to us is unknown. Dementia, a disease we never had back home. People say that the strong woman has gone mad or lost her mind. She is pagan or suffering the one, the jinn. Someone has cast an evil spell, or maybe it is God's will. Here it is dementia, an illness for the old, which makes them forget, makes them wander, and shout and cry. And the strong woman has seen so much, who has been through so much, war, loss, famine, and drought, who has journeyed by foot, by air, by road, by boat, is now suffering, and the golden years of sanctuary are now stolen by dementia. Now we have kind men and women in colored tunics who speak the same language and say the same thing. But how can they see us? How can they speak with us? How can they know us? They want to place the strong woman away from her kind, to feed her with weak tea, conversation and drugs for the lost mind. And no one comes to see her. No friends want to meet, because they don't understand how she repeats. So we hide away like there's nothing to say. But instead of hiding, we need reminding. That kind words and deeds are the same. In every language, in every culture, in every world. And what the kind men and women in colored tunics need is more time. So we must now try to bring these conversations without him to the center stage and talk about Ania, pagan, the one, dementia, before their lives and the stories are hidden away.